why we are using starter. Okay, so usually in the case of DC motors, they are self-starting. So I want to know what do you mean by starter? What is the function of starter? Because already familiar with the starters. Yes. What is the function of
To
starter?
start the motor, sir.
What it is? What we are doing the
It
mistake.
starts the motor
So
by
as the
itself.
name says, no. So here, if you look at the term starter means you may assume that it is used for static purpose of the motor. That is actually wrong concept. By the name, if you may get confused, it is used for starting for the DC motor. But actually, the function of the starter is to control the motor with a safe starting current. So usually what happens is that in the case of DC motors, they are self-starting. They are self-starting. No need to make use of any kind of some external torque producing agents. Like so, here actually the term starter means it is the device which is used to control the high starting current, because all DC motors they are self-starting. Here the word starter means it is used for the purpose of starting the DC motor with safe starting current. Okay, now you can see here, usually at the time of starting of the DC motor, what happens is that speed of the motor is what will be the speed of the motor? Speed of the motor, it will be what? Zero. Can you see this, all of you? Speed of the motor is zero. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Window is okay. At the time of starting, speed of the motor is zero, and we know that what is the speed equation? N is directly proportional to what? EB by speed of the DC motor.
5.
EB by
EB
5.
by 5.
EB by okay, fine. So at the time of starting of the DC motor, speed of the motor is zero, and if speed is zero, then what about back EMF? If this term is zero,
Zero.
N is directly proportional to zero,
0.
EB means automatically back EMF is also going to become zero. Okay, so back EMF is going to become zero. Now we know that what is the DC, what is the voltage equation of DC motor? If you take DC shunt motor, then voltage equation of DC motor is what?
EB plus IARA.
EV plus V is equal to EV plus IRA. So now, at the time of starting, if this speed of the motor is zero, then automatically EB is zero. EB is zero, right? So now voltage equation becomes what? This EB is going to become zero, means V is equal to simply what? IARA at the time of starting. So
IARA.
now, if you see the starting armature current, then from this equation I can say that V is equal to IARA. So now, if I write the armature current at the time of starting of the DC motor, at the time of starting of the DC motor, armature current out of this equation will become what? I is equal to V upon IA. V is the applied voltage and I is the armature resistance of the motor. Okay, so at the time of starting of the DC motor, armature current will be I is equal to V by RA, because EB is zero here at the time of starting. Why EB is zero? Because speed of the motor is zero at the time of starting. Because of that, EB will be zero. Then armature current starting point I is equal to V upon current. It will be
Large, sir.
it will be very high. It will be very high, right? So suppose for example, if a motor it is made to operate, for example, just for 5 ampere full load current, but if I start the motor without using some extra resistance, then what happens? The motor, its full load current is simply 5 ampere, but at the time of starting motor, what it will do? It will draw 15 to 20 times more the current. 15 5 is how much? 75 ampere. 25 is how much? 25 is just I'm taking an example here. 25 is how much?
100.
100 amperes. So usually machine is designed or motor is designed to operate at safer current, full load current 5 ampere, but at the time of starting, what it will do? Armature machine will draw more current. that is 75 ampere to 100 ampere, though its capacity is simply 5 ampere. But if you allow the machine to draw 75 ampere to 100 ampere, then what will be the condition of the motor? Will it run safely?
No, sir. It will damage.
It will damage. So it is going to damage. So in order to protect the motor from the high starting current, what we are doing is that we are going to control this high starting current by some device, and that device is simply nothing but what here?
Starter.
Starter.
Starter. So now if I want to control this high starting current, so current can be controlled by which electrical element?
Resistance.
Very good. So usually we can control the current by adding the resistance. So since the armature current is very, very high, then in that case what we should do, we need to connect one high resistance in series with the field or armature. Current is which one here? Is it field current or armature current?
Armature.
So if it is
Current.
armature current, means we need to connect rheostat of high resistance value, that to variable rheostat, in series with the armature. By doing that, at the time of starting, you add the resistance, and as the starting current is controlled, then you cut out the resistance. If you keep the resistance there itself, then high resistance, it will cause high copper loss. The amount of the voltage available to the motor is not sufficient, then motor may not run. So only at the time of starting, you need to add high resistance to the armature, and slowly, once the current is controlled, you need to remove or cut out the resistance, so that motor will gradually start to pick up the speed. Okay, so in order to show or to say that the machine is going to draw the high current, just we are going to take one example here. Just one example is that generally motor is switched on with normal voltage, and as armature resistance is very small, armature current at the time of starting is very high. So as I told you, if armature resistance is very small, then armature current will be very high. In order to illustrate this, we are going to take one example here. So that example is, just you can see here, consider a motor having full load input power as 8000 watts. So motor, it can drive the load of 8000 watt. Then motor rated voltage will be 250 volts. So motor is applied with the input voltage of 250 volts, and armature resistance is 0.5 ohms. Okay, so these are the specification of the motor. Now let us see the starting current. So at the time of starting, speed of the motor is 0, then automatically EB is also going to become 0. Okay, and motor applied voltage is how much? V is 250 volts. Now you calculate what is armature current at the time of starting. We know that armature current at the time of starting, IA is given by simply input voltage divided by armature resistance. So input voltage is 250 volts, and armature resistance is very small, that is 0.5 ampere. So at the time of starting, motor will draw how much current? Armature current 500 amperes. So this is the high current that is going to be drawn by the motor. But now let us see what is the safer current that the motor has to draw. This is the current it is going to draw if you don't use starter. Now this is the high current. But now let us what is the full load current or safe value of the current that motor can drive very easily. Now we will calculate safe current or full load current. While its full load current can be calculated as I full load is equal to power divided by voltage, because power is what? Power is nothing but what? VI. Power is nothing but VI divided by input voltage means what? V. So if power is nothing but VI, so V and V get cancelled, then you are left out with which information?
Current.
Only full load current information. So here we are taking full load power. So full load power, it is already mentioned as 8000 watt, that is 8000, and input applied voltage is 250. So 8000 by 250 is how much? 32 ampere. So machine, it can safely drive the load up to 32 ampere, but if you don't use starter, then the starting current will be 500 ampere. So its machine safer current is 32 ampere, but at the time of starting, armature will drive the current 500 ampere. So is this safe current for a motor 500 ampere? Because its current carrying capacity is 32, but at the time of starting, armature is drawing 500 ampere. Is it safe?
No, sir.
It is a dangerous value. So in order to protect the motor from the high starting current, I can say that its current value is safe current value or full load current value is simply 32 ampere, but motor is driving 15 to 20 times greater current that of the what? Full load current value. So in order to protect the motor from such high starting current, we are going to make use of some resistance, which will be connected in series with the armature only at the time of starting, and later on we need to remove that resistance. If you keep that resistance there itself, then high resistance will cause high copper loss, high power loss. Because of that, machine may not pick up the speed. Okay, so usually that resistance which we are connecting in series with the armature. So here you can see that this is the armature, and here with this armature you are going to connect one resistance. So usually starter is simply nothing but the resistance which is connected in series with the armature in order to control the high starting current. So at the time of starting, resistance will be at this point. At this point means what? Whether resistance is more or less here at this position.
Lesser.
Hmm? Sorry, not at this
Less.
position. At this position. I'm sorry for that. So at the time of starting, resistance will be at this point. See here. Input is here. Resistance will be connected here. So resistance completely will come into picture here at this point. At the time of starting, it will be at this point. So after that, once starting current is controlled, you need to slowly remove the resistance. You need to slowly cut out the resistance from one point to the other point. Finally, you come to this point. Then what happens? Then what happens? Automatically, you are going to remove all the resistance. Yes or no? If you remove all the resistance, then enough amount of the power is available for the motor. Because of that, motor can run very safely. And at this point, the resistance will be for normal running condition of the motor. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is all about necessity of the starter. Why we are using the starter here? Just to control the starting current. It is very high, because at the time of starting of the DC motor without resistance or the starter, speed will be zero, then EB will be zero. Then automatically voltage equation becomes what? V is equal to IaRa. Then armature current drawn by the motor will be what? Ia is equal to V divided by Ra. Since Ra value is small, then armature current is very large, which will be 15 to 20 times greater than that of the rated value of the motor. So such a high current if I inject into the motor, then motor may damage. So in order to protect the motor from the high starting armature current, we are going to connect certain resistance in series with the armature, so that only at the time of starting include all the resistance that keep the resistance in cut-in position. Once the motor is going to control the starting current, then slowly remove the resistance and keep the resistance to the minimum position, so that motor can get enough amount of the power and motor can develop enough amount of the torque to run the motor safely. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is all about necessity of the starter. So now again in the starter there are two types, that is 3-point starter and 4-point starter, that we will see now. Can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
So now sometimes in the final video exam they may ask the necessity of the starter. So if that is the case, then you should explain from the starting condition that at the time of starting n equal to 0, then EB will be 0, then IA will be equal to E by RA. RA value will be very small. Because of that, IA will be very large, which is 15 to 20 times greater than the normal rated current value. Because of that, we should control the current, starting current of the armature by connecting certain resistance in series with the armature. And once the speed is going to, once the starting current is controlled, then we need to remove the resistance. That is, we need to cut out the resistance so that motor can get the enough amount of the power to run safely the normal speed. This is all you need to explain for necessity of the starter. This asked in the video exam. And for your syllabus, there are two types of the starters, that is 3-point starter and starter. So I hope you have studied already about this 3-point and 4-point starter in your basic electrical subject. Yes or no?
No.
No? No problem. If you are not studied, then let us see the
Only starters.
starters here. So here, so this is the circuit diagram for starter. You should draw this circuit diagram. Can you all see this starter circuit diagram?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible to all of you clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is, there are usually two types of the starters for DC motors. So these 3-point and 4-point starter we are using to control the starting current of DC shunt motor. Okay. In order to control the starting current of DC shunt motor, we are going to make use of 3-point and 4-point starter. But whereas in order to control the starting current of DC series motor, the other type of the motor is 2-point starter. That is not there for your syllabus. For your syllabus, there are only two types of the starters, that is 3-point starter and 4-point starter, which are used to control the starting current of DC shunt motor. Fine. Now let us see those 3-point starter and 4-point starter one by one. So first we'll begin with 3-point starter. So here 3-point means what? It will be having three terminals, L, A and F. L stands for line, A stands for armature winding, F stands for connection given to the field winding. Because of this L, A, F, we call this type of the starter as 3-point starter. L, A, F. L for line, A for armature and F for the field winding connection. So this is the circuit diagram for what? 3-point starter. And this here you can see that this is the motor. This is the motor whose starting armature current needs to be controlled. And in order to control the starting armature current of this motor, can you all see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here usually the motor size will be big, but starter size will be small. Just to pay more attention or concentration on the starter here. Here we have drawn machine size as small and our starter size in large. Just to clear the picture very clearly, we have drawn starter diagram in large scale, whereas motor size in small scale. But in real time, motor size will be large. Remember about this. Okay. So this motor, whose armature current has to be controlled. So here it will be connected with certain resistance. R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. So this armature, it is connected to certain resistance. How it is connected? Is it series or in parallel?
Series, sir.
Series.
It is
Series.
connected in series, right? So now let us see the parts of this 3-point starter. So here it is 3-point means point L, point F, and point A. Fine. And let us see the rest of the things here. So input to this 3-point starter is given from the DC supply source, that is plus minus DC voltage, and from the positive side of the DC supply voltage, it is connected to the line point of the 3-point starter. From the line point, it goes to the electromagnet, and this electromagnet we call this as overload release coil. Overload release coil, and at the base point, it will be having some lever. It will be having certain lever, and it will be having with some triangular iron piece. Triangular iron piece, later on I will tell you what this arrangement is meant for and how it is going to help for the safe operation of the motor. Okay, so this is the electromagnet, which we call it as overload release coil, and it will be having certain arrangement which we call it as lever along with triangular iron piece. And then the other connection of the electromagnet, one connection of the L point goes to the electromagnet, and the other connection of the electromagnet goes to the handle here. It is connected to the handle pivot, and from there it is connected to the handle. And this handle, it is free to move against the gravity. This is connected to some certain spring here, and this spring, it is going to be controlling to this handle. So this handle is free to move against the gravity, or it is free to move against the spring action here. And then it is having certain resistance R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. So the entire resistance is divided to different sections. These sections we call it as R1 section, R2 section, R3, R4, R5, and all these are having certain tappings here. tap number one, tap number two. So these tappings we call this as studs here. Stud number one, stud number two, stud three, stud four, stud five, and finally it comes to where running condition. So at the time of starting, you are going to operate this handle manually. You are going to move this handle manually such that this handle it is free to move against the spring action, and such that this handle it is having some soft iron piece. It will be having some soft iron piece where this is going to get locked with this another electromagnet, and this electromagnet now it is called as no volt coil or NVC. No volt coil, NVC, whereas the bottom electromagnet it is called as overload release coil, or in short it is called as OLR. So both these electromagnets they are having some function. Later on I will tell you. So at the time of starting, handle will be at the stud number one. So if it is at stud number one, then maximum resistance will be connected, and that resistance will be included for the armature. Because of that, armature resistance will be controlled. And the other bypass or the parallel path to this resistance is where one path is this one, R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, then to the running condition, then to the motor. Similarly, in order to give the power supply to the field winding of the DC motor, then from the same stud number one, there is another bypass connection, that is this path. It goes to where? It goes to the no volt release coil. Then from the no volt release coil, then it goes to where supply will be for the field winding. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So this is the circuit diagram for 3-point starter. Now let us see the operation, how it is going to operate. So usually I need to control the armature current IA, which is IA is equal to what at the time of starting? Simply it is V upon what? V upon RA. Yes or no? IA is equal to V upon RA. So now this RA value is very small. Because of that, armature current will be large. So now I will control this high current by adding certain resistance. So that resistance will be what? R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. And how it is appearing? It is appearing in series with the armature. So we know that if resistances are connected in series, then what will be the equivalent resistance value? Will it increase or decrease?
Increase, sir.
Resistance will increase. If resistance increase, then what about the current? Here, if you keep on adding the resistance, then automatically R equivalent will be high. Then what happens? Automatically armature current will be reducing. Yes or no? If I keep on adding the resistance, then this R equivalent becomes very large. If resistance increases, then automatically current decreases and comes to the same value at the time of starting. So now at the time of starting, first what we should do, give the power supply to the DC input, then close the switch. Then what happens? After closing the switch, supply goes to where? L point. Then it goes to what? Overload release coil. That is nothing but lower electromagnet. And from the lower electromagnet other end, it goes to the handle of the spring, which is pivoted to the handle. And then now, if we slowly move this handle from stud number one, then what happens? If we slowly move this power handle to the stud number one, then whole resistance will be added. Yes or no? Entire resistance will be added at the time of starting. Then you can expect that you are adding high resistance. If you add more resistance, then what will be the effective resistance? R equivalent will be
R1 plus R2 plus.
On an average, R equivalent, generally R equivalent will become very high. Then automatically you can control the armature current to the same value. Then once the starting current is controlled, then you should not keep the handle at stud number one only, because all the time if you keep the handle at stud number one only, then large resistance will come into picture, which is going to cause huge power loss, which will appear physically in the form of the heat that may damage the insulation of the motor. For that sake, once the starting current is controlled at the time of starting, then you slowly remove the resistance, bring this handle from stud number one, then to the 2, 3, 4, 5, and finally what this handle to be, where it has to be positioned. Then finally this handle you should bring it and you should keep it at running condition. Running condition means at this stud. If I keep the handle at this stud, then what about the resistance? Have you removed the resistance or you have included the resistance?
Remove the resistance.
You are keep
Remote
on
stud.
removing the resistance. Yes or no? So as the handle is made to move from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studs, finally it will come and reach to the stud number that is running condition. Then automatically at this point, the handle which is having the soft iron piece, this soft iron piece, it will get electromagnetized and it will fix up with this electromagnet. It will get interlocked because of the magnetic property. Right? Once it is interlocked, then what happens? Anyhow, starting current you have controlled, then machine will be running safely. Machine will be running safely. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Right. So by the time if you keep on removing the resistance, you can see here from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the resistance you are removing. But see that there is another bypass current path. Yes or no? So as you keep on moving the handle from stud number 1 to running condition, you are keep on removing the resistance. But on the other side, what happens is that current now it is moving to the other path. Which is that other path? One more bypass path where it is going to give the power supply or the current to the one more electromagnet, which we call it as no volt coil, NVC. This no volt coil, it is going to get electromagnetized because of the current supplied from these coils, and then from that electromagnet it gives the power supply to the field winding. So this is how motor can run safely. This is how motor can run safely. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whatever I have explained so far, the same explanation it is there in the explanation part here. Okay, yes, whatever it is there now, explanation, you can get it from this information. Okay, whatever I have explained. So now let us see what is the function of the what is that overload release coil, which is lower electromagnet, and no volt coil, which is upper electromagnet. So usually, if you overload the machine, what will happen? Speed of the motor it will be decreasing or increasing.
Decreasing.
Speed of the motor will be what it is going to happen?
Decreases.
Speed will be
Decreases, sir.
decreasing, right? So if I put more amount of the load on this motor, then automatically, in order to make sure that motor has to carry the load safely, to support that load, machine will draw more current. If machine will draw more armature current, then already there is certain resistance, there is the armature resistance, then what will happen? More copper loss will take place. If more copper loss will take place, then you are going to overload the machine. Because of that, machine may get damaged. Yes or no? So in order to avoid the motor to operate at the time of overloading condition, this is a safety device. This is a safety device. So suppose if you overload the machine, then automatically during normal condition or during normal loading condition, current whatever it is driving, it is sufficient enough for this electromagnet to get electromagnetized, and it will be getting balanced against the gravitational force of this lever. During normal loading condition, current whatever it is carrying by this electromagnet, it is going to balance to the gravitational force of this lever. By chance, if you add huge load which is beyond the rated value, then what happens? Motor will draw extra current. Yes or no? To support that load, motor will draw extra current. Now this extra current, it will be experienced by from the input side only. Yes or no? Whatever that current it is going to draw, that current it has to be drawn from the input side only. Yes or no? And now this input current, by the time it reaches to the overload release coil, here it is going to produce more amount of the force. It is going to produce more amount of the electromagnetic force during abnormal or overloading condition. Because of that, suddenly whatever balance it is there during normal condition, now it is going to become unbalanced. That unbalanced, you can experience it where it is going to become electromagnetized, and suddenly the balance will be lost, and suddenly because of the electromagnetic action, this lever it will move upwards. This lever it will move upwards. If it is going to move the lever upwards, then what will happen? Can you tell me? If lever is going to move upwards because of the electromagnetic force, because of the high current, then what will happen? Lever will go and touch to these points. Yes or no? Lever will
Yes, sir.
lever will touch to these points and check where these points are connected. These points are connected to where? These
No
points are
volt
connected.
coil.
It is
Another
connected to the no volt coil. One more electromagnet, which is nothing but no volt coil. So now, by the time if machine is going to carry overload current, overload, then high current it will cause gravity unbalanced condition because of that high electromagnetic force. This lever it becomes unbalanced, and because of the electromagnetic force it will move upwards. Because of that it will touch to the other points, and these two other points it is connected to the electromagnet. What is that? One more electromagnet, which is nothing but no volt coil, and because of that suddenly this coil becomes demagnetized. This coil becomes what? Demagnetized. By the time it touches to the these 2 points, this coil becomes demagnetized. If this point, if this NVC becomes demagnetized, then what will happen? Will it hold the handle now? If it is become demagnetized,
No, sir.
No,
suddenly
sir.
this becomes demagnetized, and this will release the handle. If it is going to release the handle, then automatically handle will be released easily, and the handle will come and settle onto the stud number 1. That is now off condition. So suddenly motor will be turned off if it is overloaded. Is it clear, all of you? So
Yes,
during
sir.
normal loading condition, normal current will balance the gravitational force of this lever, where this lever will not move upwards. By chance, if we add more load, then high current, it will cause electromagnetic attraction. Because of that unbalancing condition will cause moving of this uh, lever in the upward direction, where it touches to the 2 points, and these 2 points they are connected to the NVC coil. Because of that, at the time of running condition of the motor, suddenly if it is going to touch to this point, then suddenly this NVC coil becomes demagnetized. Then this is going to release to the handle. If it is going to release to the handle, then no supply goes to the motor, then motor is made to turn off. So this is how your motor is getting safeguarded from the overloading condition with the help of overload release coil and no volt coil. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can see here, as I keep on moving the handle from stud 1, 2, 3 till to the running condition, all the time the handle is going to touch to all these studs, and all. Because of that, high copper loss will take place, which may cause heating condition. So in order to avoid all those things, certain modification we are doing here. So that modification you can see here. So that modification is nothing but this is the brass arc. So this is the path which is because of the brass material. So by the time if you keep on moving the handle from this brass, then whatever the heating will be there, it is not going to cause much damage. So just to safeguard the motor from the heating condition and because of the spark and all, there instead of directly using the studs, we are going to make use of some other alternative path, that is nothing but brass arc. So here when we move the handle from one position to the other position, if I settle the handle on this position, then it is connected to 1, then it is connected to 2, then it is connected to 3. So I mean to say here is that directly you are not putting more amount of the stress on these studs. So whatever stress it will be there, that it will be distributed on this brass arc. Because of that, your is that heat dissipation will become very easy. Is it clear? And this is nothing but the copper or brass arc, which can withstand high heat inside the stud. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
let us see the next
Sir,
function here. Yes.
sir, overload release, that arrangement is called make and break arrangement, no, sir?
Make and break arrangement also. Why? Because this loading condition, if it is more, then what it will do? If it is more, then it is going to avoid the overloading condition. Then it is braking condition. If it is normal condition, then it is going to make the motor to run in a normal position. That is make condition, brake condition. Make means on condition, brake means off condition. When you are going to brake, only if machine is having abnormal loading condition. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is all about 3-point starter. But now here there are certain disadvantages. What is that disadvantage? Let us see. So in the case of 3-point starter, if I am using and if I am going for what speed control of DC shunt motor using flux control method. Using flux control method. So what is the speed equation? N is directly proportional to what?
EB by 5.
EB by pi. So in order to increase, usually we know that flux control method will give us the speed value more than the rated value. More than the rated value. Yes or no? If I want to increase the speed, then what I should do?
Flux should be reduced.
Flux should be reduced. Flux should be reduced means what? Which current has to be reduced?
Field currents.
This current that is flowing through the field winding, ISH. Current that is flowing through the field winding of the DC shunt motor, ISH, this has to be reduced. Only then flux pi is reduced. Why? Because we know that ISH is directly proportional to pi. So if I reduce ISH, then I'm going to reduce flux. If I reduce flux, then I'm going to control the speed more than the rated value. So if we want speed to be controlled more than rated RPM value, then we should reduce the flux. If I reduce the flux, then I want to reduce the field current. But see that this field current, from where it is coming? From where we are getting the field current?
No volt coil.
We are getting the field current from the no volt coil. So during normal condition, during everything, if it is running good, then your handle will be on the running condition, then everything it will be safe. But by chance, if I want the speed to be controlled above rated RPM means I should reduce the flux, I should reduce the ISH. But reducing ISH means what? You are reducing the current through which coil, through which electromagnet?
No volt coils.
You are reducing the current through the NVC or no volt coil. So if current is reduced through this NVC to get the speed value more than rated RPM, then what about the electromagnetic property of this coil, of this electromagnet?
Decreases.
Suddenly electromagnetic property, it is going to decrease. So if electromagnetic property decreases, then what will happen? Will it hold the handle?
No, sir.
No,
It
sir.
will not hold the handle. Suddenly it will release the handle and handle will rest onto the position number 1. So this is the drawback. So if we want to get the speed more than the rated RPM, then we should go for flux control method. If I want to go for flux control method, then I should reduce flux. In order to reduce the flux, I need to reduce the current that is flowing through the field winding. If we are going to reduce the current ISS, then that current we are getting from the no volt coil, then suddenly current through the field NVC will reduce. If current through the NVC will reduce means automatically NVC electromagnet becomes demagnetized because of less amount of the current, which is not magnetizing to this electromagnet. Then suddenly this becomes demagnetized and it will release to the handle. Because of that, machine will it run or it will come to the standstill condition?
Standstill condition.
It will come to the standstill condition because by the time it releases to the handle, it will rest on to the position number 1. Position number 1 means what? You have added all the resistance to the armature. Then entire power is wasted here itself. Then power is not available for the motor to run safely. So even though you are in the safe operating condition, but if you want speed more than rated RPM, then unnecessary stopping of the machine will take place because of less ISH. That less ISH we are getting it from the NVC. Since that NVC is, if it is experiencing low field current, then that will demagnetize to the NVC coil. In turn, it is going to release to the handle. Because of that, machine unnecessary stoppage may take place at the time of normal running condition. Hence, this is the drawback of 3-point starter. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in order to avoid this kind of the drawback, then we are going for the next upgraded starter. So the next version of this 3-point starter is the 4-point starter. And once again, this 4-point starter that is also used to control the starting current of DC shunt motor only. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So in the examination, if they ask about three-point starter, first you should draw the circuit diagram, then you should explain the working. So your working and all, everything is given here, and then you explain in brief the function of node coil, then function of overload release coil. Okay. And this is the modified circuit three-point starter, where in order to provide better heat dissipation, we are going to make use of some alternate arrangement for movement of the handle via to this resistance to the armature, that is with the help of brass or copper rod. So all this is about three-point starter, and disadvantage is what? If you are on speed control less than rated RPM, then what happens? Automatically stoppage of the machine. The motor will take place because of low ISH current which you are supplying for this NVC. And in order to overcome this drawback, the next method is what? 4-point starter. So 4-point means what? Already you are having 3-point starter, that is L, F, A. Including that, there is another terminal, that is N point. So L, F, A, N. If it is there, then it's called as 4-point starter. And which type of motor here it is? Once again,
Shunt motor.
DC shunt motor only, right? So it is a DC shunt motor only. Just to overcome the drawback of 3-point starter, we are going to make use of DC 4-point starter. Now, the rest of the things, whatever I have explained for 3-point starter, same elements you are using here. So here it will be having or DC supply. From the DC supply, it goes to the L point. Then from the L point, supply is given to the lower electromagnet, that is overload release coil. The other point goes to the pivot, which it is goes to the pivot of the spring. Then from there, it is connected to the handle. Then it will be having the resistances R1, R2, R3, R4 till to the R5. And now, earlier in the earlier case, if you see the configuration for three-point starter, here in this case, what is that? No volt coil NVC and field winding. How they are connected? Are they connected in series or in parallel?
Series, sir.
They are connected in series. Why? Because if I want to reduce pi, then I need to reduce ISH. If ISH reduces, then automatically that is going to affect to the current through the NVC. Because of that, it becomes demagnetized and it is going to release to the coil. So now, instead of connecting field winding and NVC electromagnet in series, now in the 4-point starter, if not series, then what will be the combination?
Shunt.
Parallel, right? So now, in order to avoid the drawback, now here we are going to connect field winding and what is that? NVC in parallel fashion, right? So from the other resistance path, it goes to the armature. This is for controlling the starting current. Now you see the interesting thing here. From the handle, it goes to the different what is it? Brass arc points. From the brass arc points, one connection goes to the where? It goes to the F point, field point. From the field point, there is a variable rheostat. From the rheostat, then there is a field winding. So this rheostat, this can be varied to control the which current?
Field current.
Field current.
Field
So
current.
if you control the field current ISH with the help of this variable rheostat, then here you can control what?
Flux.
Flux. If flux is controlled, then automatically you can control the speed of the DC shunt motor. So if you reduce the flux, then you can get the speed more than rated RPM. Okay. So from here you are going to connect to the F point from the variable rheostat, then it is going to connect it to the field winding. Then let us see the other connection from the same brass arc point. Now the connection is given to the no volt coil. Then the other no volt coil, it goes to where? N point. From the N point, it is given to the resistance, and finally it is connected back to the negative of the line. Negative of the line. Is it clear? Now you check the connectivity, how it is connected. No volt coil and the field winding, whether they appear in series or in parallel.
Parallel.
They appear in parallel. So now there is no dependency. Earlier there was a dependency because it is series connection. If ISH is small in the field winding, then automatically it is going to reflect onto the current that is carried by the no volt coil. Because of that, it becomes demagnetized. Now that complete dependency we are going to remove it by providing parallel connection. In parallel connection, current to the other points will be different. Only voltages will be same, but currents will be different. So such problem we are going to reduce in the case of 4-point starter. So now what happens, you can see here. This is all about no volt coil, overload release coil, no volt coil connection. From the brass end point, one connection goes to the F point, other point goes to the no volt release coil, and the other connection goes to the N point to the rheostat, which is fixed value, then back to the PC negative point. So this is all about elements of the or circuit diagram of the 4-point starter. Is it clear, all of you? This circuit diagram you need to draw it if it is asked. Yes, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let us see the working here. So initially it will be kept open, input will be kept open. After doing all these connections, we should close the switch. After closing the switch, supply goes to the L point, then it is going given to the overload release coil. Other point goes to the pivoted handle. Then this handle is made to move. At the time of starting, handle is in the at position number 1. Then what happens? Resistance will be more or less.
More.
Resistance will be more because R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 all are appearing in series, and that series equivalent more resistance it will be given in series with which part of the machine?
Armature winding.
Armature winding. Because of that, suddenly armature starting current will be controlled. Now initial work is over. You have control to the starting current. This dangerous current or the starting current, it will be existing in the machine only at the time of starting. It will not be there all the time, because only at the time of starting N will be 0, EB will be 0. Because of that, IA value will be very high, which is 15 to 20 times greater than the rated value. So once you control the starting current, then slowly you move the handle from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then bring it to the stud number 5. So the stud number 5 is the safe running condition where you have removed all the resistance. Right? Then what happens? Your machine is running safely. So by the time you bring the machine to the stud number 5, that is running condition, stud number running condition, then from there supply goes to the 2 points. The supply one, it is given distributed to the variable rheostat via this point F, then to the field winding. Similarly, the same supply, it is coming from the parallel path to the electromagnet NVC. Other point, it is connected to the N point to the fixed rheostat. Right. So this is how machine can run safely without any problem. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
But there is a drawback in the case of 4-point starter. So here drawback is that now in the case of 3-point starter, if you want to control the speed less more than rated RPM, then you are going for flux control method. Yes or no? So there you are going to reduce ISH pi, then coil is becoming, NVC is becoming demagnetized, and unnecessary stopping of the machine will take place. But now here in this case, by chance, if field winding, by due to some extent, if field winding is opening, then what happens? If field winding is getting opened by mistake, then what happens? What about pi value? Yes, can anybody? By mistake, if this field winding is opened, then which current will be 0?
ISH.
Right.
ISH will be 0. This may take place in the industries and all. Okay, such things also you should keep in your mind. So by chance, if I am controlling the speed of the motor, and by chance if field winding gets opened by mistake, then ISH becomes 0. If ISH becomes 0, then what is the value of pi?
0.
Pi becomes 0. Then what about the speed of the machine?
Increases, sir. Very high.
So suddenly speed of the machine becomes 1 upon 0. 1 upon 0 means what?
Infinity.
Infinite.
So machine attains to the infinite dangerous speed value. So machine attains to the infinite dangerous value by chance if there is a opening of the field winding by mistake. So in such case, whether you should disconnect the motor from running or not,
Yes, sir.
right? So you should suddenly stop the machine to run automatically. But uh, here in this case, what happens is that even though ISH value is zero because of opening of the field winding, because of that flux becomes zero, though EB will be there, EB will be there, but it is not going to control that the speed. But still, even though there is a EB, but ISH becomes zero, pi becomes zero, then speed attains to dangerous value. So now, what is the function of the NVC coil? No volt coil. As the name says, no volt means it should not carry any voltage. If it is not carrying any voltage, no volt means what? There is no voltage means it is becoming demagnetized. If it is becoming demagnetized, then it is going to release to the handle. Then if it is going to release to the handle, then supply will not be given to the motor, because of that machine will not run. But here in this case, even though field is open, even though ISH is zero, even though pi is zero, even though machine is running at the dangerous speed, not rated speed, it is running at a dangerous speed, you are not stopping the machine here. Why? Because here, in order to stop the running of the motor, that task, that here it will be taken by the NVC coil. But this NVC coil, if you see here, what is the supply, from where it is getting NVC coil supply? NVC, it is getting the supply from this point of the brass point. Yes or no? From NVC coil path, if you want to see, it is getting the supply from this point. From this point it is getting supply. So that path, if you retrace it, then it is going to come to this point and handle is still there, and that supply connection, if you retrace it, it will be coming to the overload release coil and then to the input. So here in this case, even though machine is running at a dangerous speed, but still this no volt coil, it is receiving the power supply from the input side. Since it is receiving the power supply from the input side, so it is magnetized or demagnetized?
Magnetized.
Magnetized.
It is magnetized only. Though machine is running at a dangerous speed, still it is magnetized. Because of that, it will not release the handle. So if it is not releasing the handle, means what will happen? Machine will run at a keep on running at a dangerous speed. So such kind of the drawback you are going to observe in the case of 4-point starter, if by chance or by mistake this field winding gets opened. Why? Because in the earlier case, if ISH is becoming zero, means automatically current through the field winding, current through the NVC was becoming zero, because there the connection was series, but now it is parallel. So one current will flow from this point and the other current will flow from this point. Only this current has been disturbed now. Only this current has become zero because ISH is zero. But whereas the other current which is going to this NVC, this you are getting it from the input side. Because of that, NVC is getting continuous power supply from the input side. Because of that, it will be still in the magnetized condition only. Because of that, it will hold the handle. Because of that, machine will be keep on running continuously, even though machine is running at a dangerous speed. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is the disadvantage of 4-point starter. So in the examination, they may ask either 3-point starter or 4-point starter. That you can take it as a fixed question, which will be asked for 5 to 6 marks in the final video exam. Or else sometimes they may ask necessity of the starter. So anything the question might be, you need to explain by drawing the circuit diagram, then write its working, then explain for what is the function of overload release coil, what is the function of no volt coil, and what is its disadvantage. If you want, you can explain for this brass or this, which is nothing but modification in the 3-point starter, just to have the proper heat dissipation. Then coming to the 4-point starter, you explain it is having 4 points where supply between NVC and field winding, it is now connected in parallel. So there is no dependency between the current that is flowing through the NVC and field winding, because whatever current flowing at this point, it is nowhere connected to this current. So that is nothing but parallel connection. They are connected in parallel connection. Because of that, even though here field gets opened, ISH becomes 0, pi becomes 0, machine is running at dangerous speed. That is not going to cause any change in the magnetization of the NVC, because this NVC is receiving the power supply from the input side. Because of that, machine keeps on continuously running in spite of the dangerous running condition. So this is the circuit diagram for 4-point starter, and then explain for the elements working, then for the disadvantage part. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
And in the next class, I am going to explain for losses efficiency concept in DC motor. So that is hardly a small topic, where you will study for different losses in the DC motor, and what will be the efficiency of the DC motor, and what is the maximum condition for the efficiency of DC motor. That all those concepts we are going to study in the next class. Okay.